Today on Israel Hayom Insider, Israel is on the itinerary for U.S. President Donald Trump's first presidential trip overseas. In addition to Jerusalem, Trump will visit Saudi Arabia and the Vatican in what is being dubbed a tolerance tour, an attempt to forge a coalition against religious extremism. Will the visit jumpstart the Israeli-Palestinian peace process? With me in the studio, contributor Ruthie Blum.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, Ruthie. Okay, first of all, a little background. Trump has recently hosted Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas in the White House. How did that visit go? Was it what we expected? Yeah, go ahead.
By all accounts, it went swimmingly.
Okay.
They got along great, and Abbas told his usual lies about how he does not promote terrorism and doesn't teach children in Palestinian schools to commit violence against Jews, and they got along well. That was not in the least bit surprising. Some people were surprised that Abbas was invited at all to the White House, but that's another story.
Okay. Trump kicks off his trip on May 19th with a visit to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and we know he's not only going to be speaking with members of the Saudi royal family, but also with the Gulf Cooperation Council and with leaders of various unnamed Arab and Muslim countries. Clearly, Iran must be on the agenda, ISIS, I assume. Is he also trying to restart the Arab-Israeli peace process?
That's possible, but I would say that, yes, Trump is obviously meeting with the Saudis, who are very anti-Iran, and Israel itself has been meeting with the Saudis. However, to dub that a tolerance tour and against religious extremism when Saudi Arabia has introduced Wahhabism all over the world, including in Europe and the United States, I would hardly say that they're partners in an anti-religious extremism move.
Okay, so maybe that's kind of a euphemism.
Definitely a euphemism.
Okay, for anti-ISIS, anti-Iran.
Right. However, again, you know, ISIS and Iran, though they are enemies.
With each other, right?
With each other, because ISIS are Sunnis and Iran are Shiites. They're equally extreme. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Equally extreme, really?
For sure.
Okay.
Well, Iran is the greatest state sponsor of terrorism in the world. ISIS is a small group that likes to show off its beheadings on the internet, but they're 6 of one, half a dozen of another.
Okay. Now, apparently, Trump is expected in Israel May 22nd and 23rd, although we're not sure exactly about the schedule. He's going to be meeting obviously with Prime Minister Netanyahu, with President Rivlin. He's also going to Bethlehem to meet with President Abbas again. Are we expecting any kind of major announcements during this visit? Is it going to be a dramatic, some kind of a dramatic breakthrough here? I mean, he's not coming to the region just to have some work meetings he could have had in the White House.
You have to make a distinction between a dramatic announcement and a dramatic occurrence.
Okay.
Nothing is going to change in terms of Israeli-Palestinian peace, so-called peace, because actually the only process that has ever been going on is a war process. Trump will discover that. At the moment, as the author of The Art of the Deal, Trump really believes, I think he sincerely believes, that he will figure out the formula. Somehow, up until now, nobody has figured it out, and he will figure it out. But the one thing he's going to discover is that the only way you can broker a deal, including if you're Donald Trump, is if both sides have an interest in that deal. And in this case, the Palestinians have zero interest. Let me make a correction of that. Palestinian leadership has no interest in such a deal.
Well, people have said that that part of this, of Abbas going to the White House has sort of revived his career. I mean, he's been, relegated to being, he's very old, he's maybe irrelevant in Palestinian politics, or, coming to the end of his career. Now suddenly he's relevant again.
Listen, every time he goes to the UN, he becomes relevant. The only thing that has kept Abbas relevant throughout his entire career is a lack of Palestinian statehood and his ostensible striving for it. That is what keeps him relevant. Other than that, he's not popular among the Palestinian people. He's a joke. The only thing that keeps him relevant is the West and the UN, and now going to the White House.
Okay, let's talk about the last leg of this trip, the Vatican. If one could be cynical and say, like Stalin did, how many divisions does the Pope have? The Vatican's not really a player here, is it? Why is he including them in this Middle East tour, this Middle East peace process issue?
Well, I'll tell you, the Pope has been an extremely political figure on the international scene. And this Pope, when he came to this area, for example, he visited the separation wall, and he said there has to be peace with the Palestinians and the Israelis, and indicated that Israel and the Palestinians are equally to blame for the impasse, which of course is nonsense. So this Pope has also made himself a relevant political figure. He should be a religious figure. What he should be doing is decrying the mass killings of Christians across the Middle East and elsewhere. That's what he should have been doing the last years, is screaming from the rooftops about Christian persecution at the hands of radical Islamists. Instead, he talks about Palestinian and Israeli peace. It's nonsense.
Ruthie, I want to thank you for that interesting analysis.
My pleasure, as always, Steve.
And I want to thank the viewers for continuing to follow us. Send us your feedback. Let us know what you'd like to see on future episodes, and we will see you next time.